Well, did you get your invitation yet? Mine has not yet shown up in the mail, but Bill, my mailman, doesn't come till around 11 a.m. I'm waiting for my invitation to the big party that Jerome Powell is having this week, a 2-day party, Tuesday and Wednesday, where he'll be meeting with his Fed governor buddies to decide the future of interest rates for our country. This is major market-moving news, market-moving information. Right now, the market is pricing in about an 80% chance of a 0.75% rise in interest rates and a 20% chance of a 1% rise in interest rates. We want to know, what will this do to the price of silver, gold? What will it do to the general markets? There's a lot of speculation, a lot of doom talk. Let's dive into the different scenarios that might play out and see what we can expect later in the week. While the amount that they raise interest rates by is important, what's almost becoming more important is the communication afterwards and the information we get regarding their economic projections. Any sign of slowdown will be perceived by the market as a bullish factor because that will indicate that the Fed is going to have a harder time going forward with this aggressive, what seems like nonstop torture they've put us through regarding their hawkishness and their aggressive monetary policy. The most dull of the scenarios to play out would be if they raise by 0.75%, which is what the market is expecting, and kind of leave their economic projections, their communications about the same. We would likely then see gold, silver, and the markets remain in the same range. Now, if they raise by 0.75% and say that they think the economy is getting stronger and stronger and things look so great out there, that would signal that there could be some more aggressive behavior in the future. On the flip side, if they do 0.75% and say we're starting to get worried, somehow communicate that we're going into a recession, that could be perceived as good for the price of silver, gold, and the overall markets. And it's important for us to remember, whether we're talking about the general stock market, silver, gold price, whatever we're talking about, right now, those markets have already priced in this 0.75% increase and the current level of hawkishness. So if they keep things kind of the way they are, there shouldn't be too huge of a reaction from the market. But if their economic projections or what they communicate, either in writing or verbally in the press conference afterwards, if any of that indicates a concern or a growing concern about a slowing economy, that will, ironically, be good for the markets and good for the price of silver and gold. And we're going to talk about the doomsday scenario next. But before I do that, thank you, yes, you, for joining me right now, wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you joining me in Ron's basement. We can have some camaraderie. We can navigate these choppy waters together. I put out new content every day, so you've got a friend for life. Please come back. You can subscribe right here. Give the video a thumbs up. That's very helpful. Turn on the bell notifications. Leave a comment in the comment section below so we can learn from you. Now let's talk about some doom and gloom. If they were to raise rates by 1%, that would not be a total shock to the market. However, that would not be good for the price of silver and gold. If they raise rates by 1% and communicate that they think the economy is still doing great and we're going to have to really be more aggressive, that could be even worse for the price of silver and gold and the general markets. I mean, if that's what they're after, crashing the economy at like any cost to supposedly deal with inflation, then, that's what they'll get under that scenario. I don't think they're really wanting to deal with inflation. If they had, they would have started dealing with it much earlier and much more aggressive than they already have. They know mathematically that the economy and the U.S. government can't withstand what really needs to be done to fight the inflation, plus The inflation, a big component of it is what's called supply side. That means it can't really be affected as much by monetary policy. There's fewer goods, there's fewer services. Doesn't matter what they do to monetary policy, notwithstanding a complete depression, they aren't going to have as much of an effect on prices in a supply side inflation scenario. And there's always a slight chance, and I mean really slight chance, that they could only raise rates by 0.5%. None of the major banks are even calling for that anymore, but it could happen. It'd be like playing roulette and picking one number and the roulette wheel hitting that number. That does happen. You know, as a matter of fact, when I was in college, I spent a semester in Budapest, Hungary, studying economics. It was right when the Berlin Wall was falling. It was a wonderful time. There was a casino on the Danube River. We were there one night. I was with my friend. He put like 10 Deutschmarks, because that's what you used to gamble with back then, on red 18, and the damn wheel hit red 18. I couldn't believe it. He was so happy. He took his 350 Deutschmarks or whatever he got, and he took off to go play some blackjack. Well, the guy spun the wheel again. This is a true story. And it hit red 18 again. My buddy didn't realize that they don't take your bet off, so he won again. It hit red 18 twice in a row. So I collected the money for him. They spun the wheel again, swear on my life, and it hit red 18 3 times in a row. I had to go find him and give him his 700 Deutschmarks. So things like this do happen. Nonetheless, if we get a 0.5 increase in the interest rates, we will have strong reactions from the general market, from silver, from gold. It would be happy days. We might have a mini party here in Ron's basement. Most likely, guys, we're going to get 0.75%. And I think verbiage, communication, economic projections, pretty much in line with what we've been dealing with. I don't foresee a major reaction in the price of silver and gold. It's already kind of priced that in and already come down, as we well know. One thing for sure, we're going to find out. I'll be here for you through it all. Don't forget, you can always come to Ron's basement. I'll look forward to seeing you again.